So today we're going to start on our back. Let's start with a little bit of mindfulness, so mindful breathing, just tracing the breath. And maybe after 2 or 3 breaths like that, you can begin the 3-part breathing. So again, everyone here has been before, you all know the technique. After establishing the 3-part breath, you layer on top of that, so you don't stop, but you layer on top the ocean sounding Ujjayi breath. Okay, once you've established those 2, let's bring the right leg in and we just begin moving it around a little bit. Again, we do this many classes very often. So again, just the idea is, what do I feel here? I feel a little tightness in my glutes here. Not sure where that came from. I did a really long hike yesterday, so it could be that. There was some elevation, probably used those muscles. Hip feels good, leg feels good, back feels good. So again, I'm checking in as I do this. I'm warming up the hip, but I'm also, what is going on with the hip? What is going on with the leg? What is going on with the back? Okay, then now you can do this grabbing the big toe. You can grab the outside edge of the foot. You can use a strap, but the idea is straighten the leg till you begin to feel a stretch. I feel it right about there. Okay, so you see my leg's not even all the way straight. I can straighten it, folks, but this is where I begin to feel it. Okay, so I can play around with that a little bit, straightening, bending. Muscles love that kind of thing, of working and then releasing. Doesn't matter if it's a stretch or strengthening, the muscles very much appreciate that. What are called the sarcomeres, and that's opposed to the part of your muscle which is fascia, which might appreciate a long hold more. So you can think of it as this class is more for those sarcomeres and yin yoga is more for your fascia. That's a generalization, but generally that's going to be true. Okay, so just give them a nice stretch here, maybe take a few breaths. This left leg can be straight or bent. It's not that important. Whatever's more comfortable for you. Whatever gives you a better stretch, a safer stretch, a deeper stretch, whatever it is you're looking for. Okay, so we're opening up the back of this thigh here, breathing. And again, noticing, what do we feel? Is this frustrating? Is this pleasant? Is it enjoyable? Are we impatient to move on to the next thing? Again, yoga is just a mirror. So if you don't look in the mirror, then you're going to lose a lot of the value of doing actually yoga as opposed to a different kind of workout. Okay, let's release that side. Maybe take a moment just to feel both legs. What did that stretch do? Can you feel any difference? Did you feel any impact from that stretch? I certainly do. But I know from talking with students, sometimes students, it doesn't register. They don't notice it, especially if they're newer to doing this and you know, they're not really tuned in to the subtle experience of their body. You know, it may be hard to actually tune in to what your body is going through. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean you're unspiritual. It doesn't mean you can't do yoga. It's just, that's where you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just good to know where you are. So this side hip is a little more cranky. So the front of my hip, as I hug it, I feel more cranky. I don't feel that same sensation in the glutes. So that's interesting. So it's asymmetrical, not experiencing the same discomfort or pain on both sides. And that's not uncommon, okay? Then let's take that leg and we'll begin straightening it. I'm just going to put this foot on the ground, the right foot, because that just feels more stable, more comfortable for me today. And again, I can play around with straightening, bending this leg. I'm just trying to wake these muscles up. I'm just kind of saying hello, giving them a good stretch. Again, muscles generally appreciate a stretch as long as it's not too much. And then I might hold it for a bit and just take a few breaths, let those muscles. So again, this is going to be closer to yin. We won't be here for several minutes, but even 30 seconds holding a stretch like this is going to begin to impact the fascia, the deeper layers of tissue, the harder tissues, the tissues that don't change so quickly or easily. Okay, so we're stretching that out. All right, let's release that side, and then we will bring our legs in. Let's rock up to seated, and we'll transition to a tabletop. Let's do a few cat-cows just to address the spine, forward and back. So again, here I feel my neck a little bit. I've been working on my pull-up, and that creates tension in my shoulders and my neck. And so I'm definitely feeling that today. Pull-ups are great because they're different than yoga. It requires a different type of engagement, so I highly recommend it to add to a yoga routine. Do some hanging, some pull-ups if you can. All right, then we tuck those toes, lift the hips, pedaling, stretching the toes, ankles, knees, hips, and legs. And then walking feet toward the hands, we come into the ragdoll. We can nod and shake the head, sway the hips, bend the knees. And with the arms relaxed, we roll up to stand. All right, let's do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. Inhaling, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. Again, today I'm going to go with abbreviated instructions. I think most of you know what to do. We inhale to half lift, and right foot, then left, top of the push-up. So I'll give you the option today, right away, knees up or down, your choice. Take a deep breath, exhale, halfway down. Inhale, straighten arms and legs, up dog or cobra. As you exhale, let's do a push-up on our way back to downward facing dog, and take a breath or two. All right, let's do another one. So we inhale to the toes, exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend up and back. We'll add a side stretch. So grabbing the right wrist, we exhale, stretch the right side of the body. Good. Inhale through center, switch wrists, and exhale to the other side. Feel the stretch. Good. Inhale back to center and exhale, forward fold. Empty the lungs as you do. Inhale to half lift, exhale, left and then right. Again, top of your push-up, you decide, knees up or down, deep breath in, exhale, halfway down. Inhale, arms and legs, up dog or cobra. And again, you can do a push-up on your way back. You can go to tabletop, you can go straight to down dog. Breathe. All right, one more. So we inhale to the toes, fill the lungs. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend up and back. Exhale, stretch the right side of your body. Inhale, exhale, stretch the left side. Inhale, exhale, sit into an imaginary seat, chair pose. So again, this should be felt primarily in the thighs. And it should be felt as an intense experience, not a relaxing experience. What we want to learn is how to relax with the intense experience, not how to rely, like, right, I can, oh yeah, this is really relaxing. Of course it is, okay? But learning to relax here, completely different story, okay? So we sink down into it, we find that intensity, and then we go inside using the breath, using our attention, noticing where the resistance might be, mental, emotional, physical. Again, a story that comes up. I can't do this. It's too much. I'm not strong enough. This is too hard. Whatever that story might be. I'm injured. I'm sick. You know, whatever. Just notice, breathe, relax, feel, open up. Resisting an experience, an intense one, anyone, tends to make it worse. It tends to increase suffering and pain. That's science saying that, okay? So try and relax into it. Good. Inhale all the way up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and if you can, just jump right to the bottom of your push-up. On the exhale, inhale, up dog, and again, you can do a push-up on your way back to your downward facing dog. Okay, hopefully you're feeling nice and warmed up at this point. Let's get into our postures, working a little deeper. So feet touch. We inhale, right leg up and back, three-legged dog pose. Okay, you can see I've aligned my leg with my torso. So my leg's not down here. It's aligned. It's also not up here. Notice how I open the hip. Okay, so we're not doing that. The toes are pointing down with the knee in the hip. Deep breath, exhale, lunge, and then inhale to a what I call a triangle prep pose. So we inhale up, the front foot and knee point straight ahead. Okay, the leg is straight. This foot intersects the back foot at the heel of the arch. Back foot is firmly planted. The toes point to the left, or you can angle them in slightly. That's going to be up to you. Okay, but both legs are straight, heels on the ground. Arms are parallel, torso is over the hips. I call that, again, triangle prep. It's a preparation for the triangle pose. From here, let's pivot our hands, and as we exhale, we reach and lengthen the right side here. Okay, so this should be your right side. It's nice and long. Now look at my side if you can. I'm just going to pull up my shirt here. If I round like this, that I've gone too far. So right when the side starts to round, that's when I want to sort of stay there, and then I pivot my hands, okay? So again, if I think putting my hands on the ground is advanced, or it says something about how good I am at yoga, then I can round, right? Do you see the difference? Or some people might keep that length, but then this arm comes forward. So again, just try and maintain that integrity. The hand can be in the air. You can also rest it here, and you can put it on a block. Some people can reach the ground with this length, but it's pretty rare. So part of the practice is just being honest with yourself, where you are, what you can do, how far you can go with integrity, right? And it's your call. I can't see any of you. I'm not judging you. It's completely up to you. All right, let's inhale back up, bend the knee, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. That was Trikonasana, triangle pose. We're going to do a bunch of that today. Let's do the other side. Okay, so making your way to down dog, feet touch, inhale left leg. Here we are. Okay, again, I can do it improperly. I can point those toes, I can bend the knee, but again, just awareness, control, doing your best. Let's exhale, lunge, and we inhale to triangle prep, okay? And then pivot the hands, exhale, long, long, long. That left side is really long, and then we pivot. Okay, so again, it's not how far down you go, and you guys hear me saying that because I see it in every class I teach in person. I see somebody doing this, and they think that, oh, look at me, wow, my neighbor doesn't have her hand on the ground, but I do. But you're not. What are you doing, right? You've collapsed your waist on this side. You're collapsing your chest forward. You're facing the ground. There's no integrity. There's no alignment. What's the point? What do you think is happening when you place your hand on the ground like that, okay? So again, just try and be really honest with yourself where you are. And again, there's plenty here. I feel really intense stretch here. This posture is working, right? I can feel it. Good. Let's inhale back up, bend that knee, exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. Okay. From our down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We're going to exhale to a seat. All right. And our first forward fold, again, I said we're working on some forward folding today, is Vinyasa A. So legs are straight out in front of us. Bend that right knee, bring it in nice and close. Okay, the foot is flexed, the toes, the knee are pointing straight up. We pull this left leg in. Now what we want is a little bit of space. So I usually say, do your hand like that, like spread those fingers out wide, and just place the hand between your foot and the inside of your left thigh. So if I turn, hopefully you can see there's some space here. What people do is this. We don't want that with this posture. If anything, I want the edge of this foot over here. See how it lines up with the edge of my hip, okay? So that's ideally what we want. Now from there, I inhale, notice how straight my spine is, okay? So if your spine isn't straight, you're gonna bend this knee. If you're like this, you bend this knee until you can straighten up that spine. Exhale, forward fold. And again, you could use a strap, or you can simply, again, bend the knee, grab the foot. Once you have the foot, you can possibly straighten that leg out, and it will take you perhaps a little deeper into your stretch. Up to you. What do you feel here, right? Where's your edge? Now, from here, some of you may be able to bind. So you reach around, and you clasp, okay? A bind has a lot to do with how long your arms are, how thick your torso and your thigh is, okay? That has nothing to do with how healthy you are or how spiritual you are, okay? So some people can bind, some people can't. You don't have to judge yourself either way, okay? So forehead toward the knee, I'm folding into this. This is Vinyasa. What do I feel here? What is my experience? Just really dropping into it. Good. Inhale. Let's come on up. We'll switch sides. The same thing. Okay. Again, you might want to check that there's some space. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. And then again, some people, it may make sense for them to bind the leg here. All right. Inhale, let's come back up, cross the ankles, exhale. Bottom of the push-up, make your way back to down dog. All right, very good work from our downward dog. Let's go ahead, inhale, toes, exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale, standing, back bend, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way to downward facing dog. Okay, from downward dog, we bring feet to touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Both hands inside the foot. And we drop down as low as we can. Okay, so this is about it for me. Some of you might be able to come a little lower. Some of you might be up on your hands or even on a block. Again, just work your edge, work your challenge. Find where you're feeling the stretch or you're feeling challenged. Find where your breath begins to get away from you a little bit and slow things down. Relax, breathe, and feel right there. Pay attention. Again, notice thoughts, feelings, sensations, emotions. Notice what's going on. Pay attention. Yoga is a mirror. Okay, yoga is reflecting back to you, but you need to look in the mirror in order to learn, to grow, okay, to see things. Okay, from there, hands to the ground. We inhale, leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Again, I'm turning just for the camera. Inhale, triangle prep. And exhale, triangle pose. Feel the stretch. Good. Inhale, pivot, and triangle on the other side, right? Very simple. Just two positions. Inhale, triangle prep, and exhale, triangle pose. Good. A few more times. Inhale and exhale. And let's do one more time on each side. So we'll do the front of the mat, and we'll do the back of the mat. Okay, this time as we come up, inhale up, exhale, hands to hips. Let's turn our toes face forward. We're going to create a pyramid. Now this is a pose that many of us have done before. So what I'd like is to draw this left hip forward, so square. So I don't know if you can see, if I had headlights, they'd be sort of off to the left here on my hips. They'd be kind of going that way. So let's see if we can pull that hip forward. So I step forward just a bit. Notice legs are straight, heels are firmly planted on the ground, okay? And then from there, I simply inhale, arms up, and exhale from the hips, forward and down. Place the hands either side of the foot, and then I guide my forehead toward my knee, draw my left hip forward and my left shoulder down. I can place my hands on blocks or the ground. And then once I'm there, again, checking in, what do I feel? Where do I feel it? Is there any emotional reaction? Is there any story coming up in the mind? How is my breath affected by this? There's no right or wrong answer to these questions. This is just noticing, noticing, noticing. All right, good. Let's inhale, look forward, bend that knee. Exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way to down dog. And we've got side two. Okay, so feet touch. Inhale, left. Exhale, lunge, and drop down into your lizard. Okay, lizard pose. Good, so you should feel the stretch. You're breathing. You're noticing. Trying to allow the experience as it is without inner resistance, be it mental, emotional, physical. It's just you and your own body, heart, and mind. That's what yoga is about. I'm not doing anything to you. All I can do is guide. All I can do is suggest. It's just you and your own body, heart, and mind. That's what yoga is all about. So what is it showing you? What is this posture showing you? Okay, hands to the ground. We inhale, leg up and back. Exhale, we lunge. And then we inhale to our triangle prep. Exhale, triangle pose. Now as we repeat, you might find you have to go further or deeper to feel the same level of intensity or stretch. That's normal. In fact, it's desirable. That's one of the reasons why we repeat the movements is the body acclimates, it adapts, it gets better at things that it repeats over time. It gets more flexible, it gets stronger. So this is a very desirable trait, but we do want to pay attention. So if I need to step a little wider, I need to drop down a little further, then that's exactly what I want to do. And that kind of keeps us on our toes. All right, so finishing up, we do one at the back, and then as we come to center, we'll exhale his hands to the hips. And again, let's set up for pyramid. This is Parsvottanasana in Sanskrit. So point those toes forward, and again, I probably we'll need to step that back foot in. It just depends. Some of you may not need to do that, but I do. Okay, so my hips are straight ahead, feet are on the ground, legs are straight. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, forward fold, pyramid pose. Okay, again, once my hands are down there, I draw my left hip back, right hip forward. I bring my forehead toward the knee, and I breathe. All right, inhale, bend that knee, look forward, exhale, bottom of your push-up. You make your way to down dog. All right, let's inhale toes. We exhale to a seat. Let's take our forward folding a step further, okay? So first option is repeat this. Again, repetition makes progress. So if that was really challenging for you, my recommendation, repeat it, refine it, see if you can go maybe a little further. If that felt easy, relatively comfortable, okay, we'll take things a step further. The way I do that is I bring this leg up. Let's cradle it for a minute. Just open up the hip and the leg. Make sure that it's happy being in this position. Then we grab hold of the big toe, okay? And we imagine that's our bowstring. Okay, so we're going to pull back on that. And then I reach down, I grab the big toe of the straight leg, and that's my bow. So it's like a bow and arrow, right? So I have my bow and arrow, I'm holding them both, and then I pull back on the arrow. And I look straight ahead at my target. Okay, and that's called the archer pose, Arkana Dhanurasana, I think. Yes, Arkana Dhanurasana. All right, so the archer pose, pulling back on that bow. Good, opening the hip and the leg, breathing. Again, what comes up for you as you do this? Is it easy? Is it hard? What do you feel? What judgments might arise about yourself, about the practice, about yoga, about me as a teacher? Just notice. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. Let's try the other side. Same thing. The archer pose. This is very challenging for some people. Again, don't judge yourself if it is, but that may, again, point to something that perhaps flexibility is something that you want to look at and work on. Why? One reason is studies show that flexibility in outward flexibility is a reflection of the flexibility of your arteries. So hardening of the arteries leads to heart disease. I think heart disease is still the number 1 or number 2 killer in the United States. So it's like number 1 or number 2 of what's going to kill you is this hardening of the arteries, plaquing in the arteries, all that kind of stuff. So flexibility, again, seems like, well, I can take it, or I'm not a ballerina, I don't need to be flexible. Flexibility matters in health, okay? All right, so let's let that go. We'll come forward, make our way back to downward facing dog. All right, from downward dog, inhale toes, exhale front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. I'm just going to step back because otherwise I get too tired. Okay, great work, everybody. If you're still hanging in there, good for you. Let's bring our feet to touch. We inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And let's see if we can take that leg and put it over our shoulder. Okay, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Yep. So we take that. Imagine it's a backpack, so you're kind of putting it over your shoulder. You look up and you see, hey, can I lift that heel? Can I lift that heel off the ground? Again, the answer may be yes or no. You're just doing the best that you can
breathing with it, and again, noticing anything that comes up, physical, mental, emotional. All right, inhale, leg up and back, deep breath in. Exhale, we lunge, and we inhale to our triangle prep. All right, so many of you have done this flow with me before. It's really quite simple. We're just going to add the pyramid to the triangle. So we exhale, triangle pose first. Just do a straight triangle, inhale back up. Pivot, and we'll do a straight triangle at the back of the mat. Okay. And then what we do is we can't really do a full pyramid, but we're going to tease it. So we come triangle, and then we sweep that arm down. That's going to be very much like the pyramid. It feels like pyramid to me. We inhale back up, pivot, triangle, and then again, pyramid pose. So let's do that both sides of the mat again. Okay, so we front of the mat, triangle, and then pyramid. Again, it changes the stretch when I bring that arm down and shoulder down, and you should feel that as well. This is not the same as this. They feel different in your hips and legs, okay? Okay, so we're coming up, and then now let's add a revolved triangle. Okay, so we come down. Let's refine our pyramid. Okay, so we bring those hips, square them off, ground those heels, legs straight. Again, I'll grab a block if I need it. Nice straight spine. Let's plant the left hand on the shoulder, right, directly, and then inhale the right arm up into a revolved triangle pose. So revolved triangle, same thing. Left waist and ribs are long, chest is open, breath is deep. And again, I am paying attention to what's going on with me. Am I relaxing into this experience? Is it an intense experience? Is it an easy experience? Am I frustrated? Am I judging myself? What's going on with me? Good. Exhale the hand down. Make your way to downward dog. Okay, side two, feet touch. Inhale left. Exhale lunge. Take your left leg over your left shoulder. Look up. Inhale, lift that heel. Breathe. Good. Inhale that leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And let's inhale to triangle prep. Exhale, triangle, front of the mat. Inhale, pivot, and triangle back of the mat. Inhale, pivot. Let's add pyramid. So triangle first, and then sweep it down. You just kind of kiss the earth with your fingertips. Whoops, losing my balance a little bit. There is balance involved in that, a little bit of balance. Sweep it down, right? Let's do both sides of the mat one more time. So again, repetition, repetition, repetition leads to progress, right? Adaptations in the body. Okay, this time as we come down front of the mat, we can step that back foot in, really square off those hips. So the pyramid position is the perfect position in which to explore the revolved triangle. So we set up the pyramid first, then right hand to the ground or a block, and then inhale left arm up into rotated triangle. Good. Exhale. Bottom of your push-up, you make your way to downward facing dog. Okay, let's do another forward fold here. Inhale, toes, exhale to a seat. Now, these may not seem related, but trust me, they are. We're sort of moving one step deeper each time. So again, for some of you, repeating Marichyasana for the third time may be the right answer. for some of you, working on this for the first or second time, the archer might be the thing that you want to explore. Now, this next posture, very challenging for me. Some of you may think I'm flexible. Compared to other people, I am not. So I am maybe above average. I don't even know. But compared to many students of mine, especially many women that I teach, I am by no means considered particularly flexible, okay? So this next pose, we did this earlier, right? We put the leg on over the shoulder, but now we're seated. So let's see if we can do that again. And again, when I teach this in person, I see many people struggle with this step. So just do the best you can. Now this leg can be straight or it can be bent. I recommend bending it, actually bringing it in a little bit. Okay, so just bring it in, cross that leg. Now, we bring that right hand to the ground. Okay, and that's kind of like a kickstand. We want to use that for support. And then the leg is against the shoulder and we try and straighten that leg out. And then we look away from it. And we call that the compass pose, okay? Surya Yantrasana. So give it a try on one side. And then let's try the other side. Same thing. I take the leg. And again, this is not the first time we've done this in the class. It's just the first time seated. I put it on over my shoulder. Place my left hand on the ground for support. I reach around, I grab the foot, okay? I begin to straighten, and again, I look away from the leg. Now, my leg's not all the way straight, okay? So, again, if you think it's just about perfection and straight lines and angles, it's not. I'm getting a good stretch here. I'm challenging myself. And again, if certain people will judge themselves, right? Oh, I'm not flexible. I'm not good at yoga, whatever. I mean, I'm a yoga teacher, right? So not being able to straighten your leg, some people think, oh, that means you're not good at yoga. Well, how could I teach yoga if I'm no good at it, right? Okay, so let's exhale, bottom of our push-up, make our way back to downward dog. From our down dog, we'll inhale toes, exhale front edge of the mat. Inhale standing back bend, up and back. And exhale forward fold. Inhale half lift and exhale bottom of your push-up. Make your way to down dog. We're in the home stretch now, everybody. Okay, so almost done. Let's bring feet to touch. Now this is a challenging posture, so I want you to just explore with an open mind, okay? Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale the leg to the arm, straighten it, and lift the back leg up. Okay? It's called Ekapada Kondyanasana. All right, from there, inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and inhale to triangle prep. Exhale, triangle pose. Good. Inhale back up, pivot, and triangle pose. Really simple. Good. Inhale back up, pivot, and then triangle and pyramid. Again, this should be fairly straightforward for the vast majority of people. Triangle and pyramid. Just tease that pyramid pose. Now here's the tricky bit. Let's see if we can do a reverse revolve triangle, right? So I pivot all the way around, left hand to the ground, right hand to the ceiling. Good. Inhale back up. So again, it's a little tricky. The movements are not the easiest coming up from there. So exhale, revolve triangle, back of the mat, right? Inhale back up, pivot all the way around, and one last time, revolve triangle. Good. Exhale that hand to the ground, and now look forward. Inhale, lift that left leg up. Notice my leg is like three-legged dog, right? Foot flex, toes, knee, and hip down. Inhale the arms up. That's warrior three. You could stay there, but I recommend exhale, hands to the ground, toes to the sky. Walk your hands toward the standing leg and try grabbing that leg for standing splits. Good. Inhale, look forward, hands to the ground. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way to down dog. Side 2, feet touch. Inhale, left. Again, arm balance. I don't expect all of you to be able to do it, but I do expect you to try your best. So what does that look like for you? Okay, then inhale that leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, warrior one. Or sorry, triangle prep. Okay, then exhale, triangle pose. Good. Inhale back up and back of the mat. Triangle pose. Good. Inhale back up. And then pyramid, right? Triangle and then pyramid. Inhale back up. And triangle and pyramid. Good. Inhale back up. And then revolved or rotated triangle. So all the way around. Good. Inhale, coming back up. All the way around. Good. Inhale back up. And then this time, one last time, all the way around. And then bring the hand down. Right? Lift the back leg. Reach up. So first a warrior 3. Virabhadrasana 3. You can see I'm struggling with it today. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Toes point up. And if you look at me, I can see myself in the screen there. It's pathetic, right? It doesn't even look like a split, but that's just the best I can do. So again, it's not how it looks, folks, because it doesn't look impressive. No one's going to be impressed. If I put a picture of that online, no one's going to be like, wow, he's doing something exceptional. It's how I feel when I'm doing it. It's intense, folks. It's intense. I'm at my personal limit. That's what matters, okay? Not what other people see. It's not a show. Yoga is not a show. It's not a performance. It's a practice that affects us inwardly. And again, we notice how it affects us and we learn from it. Okay, great work, everybody. Let's come out of that and let's do one last posture, okay? And then we'll wrap up. So this is what we've been working up towards. It's called Astavakrasana. And it's just putting together what we've already learned. So let's grab a seat. Okay, so we just sit down cross-legged, and we've done this a few times. Again, I know it's challenging, so you're just going to do your best. Okay, so I take the right leg. I'm going to try mirroring you. Okay, so this is my left, but we're going to say it's your right. Now I put that leg over my shoulder. Again, easy, hard. What do I feel? All that kind of stuff. Okay, just checking in, noticing. And then from there, what I'd like to do is I'll take this leg and cross it over. Now notice what I do with my feet. I'm going to lock them in place. Okay, so they stay there. Then hands to the ground, about shoulder width. Okay, you can put them on blocks if you want. Next step is I just want to see, can I lift my tush up? It doesn't have to be very far, just kind of lift. And again, you may want blocks. If you have short arms, long torso, then a block might really help out here, okay? So if the answer is yes, I can lift myself up, then the next thing you want to do is straighten the legs and turn your torso to face the ground. So it may look like I'm resting on the ground. I'm not. I'm actually just balancing my hands. Okay, so it's called the 8-angle pose, Astavakrasana. Okay, and it is asymmetrical, so we do want to do both sides. So same thing, your left, right, over the shoulder, hands to the ground, take this leg over, lock, right, look forward, not down, lift your tush. Maybe that's it for you, but if not, then try straightening the legs bringing your torso parallel with the ground. Okay, so 8, angle pose, Astavakrasana. It's not the hardest arm balance. It's not in that category. It's actually somewhat accessible to your average person. So that's one of those, if you feel like you're kind of a novice with arm balances, you're trying to learn more, maybe you have your side crow, your crow pose, that might be a good one to start working on if you feel like it's within your grasp, because some of them are really, really hard, but that tends to be fairly accessible. All right, great job, everybody. So let's wind down now. So come on to our back here. Let's do a back bend. I think that would be nice after all the forward bending we did. So just bend our knees, place them on the ground. We just lift those hips up, interlace fingers, and you can walk those shoulders under, okay? So you can stay here. This is the bridge, nice, again, fairly accessible back bend to your average yoga student. But if you want to go further, you can do the wheel pose. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not particularly flexible in my back, and we haven't really warmed up for deep back bends. So I'm going to skip it, but I know some people will just be able to jump into it easily. So just staying here, activating those muscles that we were stretching during the forward bends. So we're just kind of giving them the opposite. Use your glutes. So make sure your glutes are engaged. You're lifting yourself up and you're kind of thrusting yourself up, if you will. Okay. All right, good. Let's come on down. And we'll drop those knees in. Breathe. And then let's just drop knees side to side. Release. Just gentle, 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 gentle. So if anything there's sharp, intense sensations, then just ease off a little bit. Take it easy. Don't force anything. Okay, so as you repeat, again, you should feel everything kind of relaxes and lets go. The sensations get less and less intense with each repetition, okay? All right, good. Let's bring our legs in. So same idea, we're squeezing the legs, trying to release the back and the hips, anything else that might be affected by that back bend and the forward bends we did. And then let's bring arms out to the side. We're going to drop our knees to the left as we look to the right. Good. We inhale, knees to center, and just take them off on the other side. Make sure you let go of your breathing techniques at this point. So really as effortless as you can manage. Good. Let's inhale, knees back to center. Again, just give them a squeeze. Grab the feet for happy baby. Give things a little stretch.
And when you're ready, unwind onto your back. Now, as I've said more recently, you know, in the yin class, the relaxation, it's almost optional whether you want to do it or not. But in this class, I feel like it's much more important that you take the rest. So if you have time, I know you might not because many of you are at work, but if you can, just set a timer, 5-6 minutes on your phone. And then once that's set, see if you can just lay there. You know, if your cat comes over, your dog starts licking your face, see if you can just ignore them for now. Just lay there, relax, close your eyes, and just enjoy the stillness and relative silence.